All right, day 2 of this 3-day DAC single-day experiment. We've got the topping NX4, which automatically, looking back at the RHA, as far as weight and girth and thickness, this is just such a better unit for portability, and which is, I think that's the point of a portable DAC. I don't know, you can tell me. I brought out the FIO Q1 Mark II. Oh, I should probably have my wallpaper up. My wallpaper, God knows, yeah, cute, okay. Because it is exactly the same shape, and it's exactly the same length. I mean, you lose a little bit because of the knob. A little bit thinner, I'd say 50. Honestly, they're so close in dimensions. Like, this one feels smaller, but oh my God, what you get out of this compared to this. Like, all right. Balanced, not balanced. The end. That's the only real difference as far as usability. This, which is currently powering the T60 RPs, which are not easy to drive. I have it set to high gain. We're using USB from my laptop here to activate the DAC. I could hook it up to a phone if I had the OTG cable, but I don't want to be dicking with a phone on these videos. So I've just got foobar running. And on high gain, 12 noon. And the unit turns off by clicking it off like that. I would do it, but it would kill that. 12 noon is as loud as you'd ever fucking need to go. Like, I didn't think that this would be able to keep up with the power output like the RHA had, but it absolutely does. Now, that one had crazy adjustments. This just has a bass boost. So if we put the bass, put the volume up, click the bass boost up. Let's get to a song that actually, oh, wrong computer. This might be, let me see if I can get it to a song that I actually know. I'm testing to see, all right, perfect. Autona Rock, I Surrender. This bass boost doesn't just sound like a bass boost. That's the thing. This sounds like a loudness switch, which we don't know what loudness is. When you see it on a receiver, when you see loudness or night mode, they both do the same thing, essentially. What you're supposed to do is, if you can't play this shit loud at night, you lower the volume and then put on loudness. And what it does is it takes certain frequencies and it bumps them up. Just a little more low end, because you're keeping it quiet, so you're not going to get any bass. But if it gets a little more low end, but then the treble's sort of like faded away, so it'll raise like a mid-range, like little bump, so you can still hear vocals. That's what loudness does on a receiver. And I think that's what this is doing. This does not just sound like, oh, bass boost, bass boost. This sounds like the entire EQ spectrum is changing. And it's not the worst thing. I'll say that. Because it literally acts as a loudness. I could play this quieter. And it's quiet, and it's quiet. I'm playing it quiet. I'm not like, I could be sitting just listening to someone. But then I put that on, and everything gets a little sweeter. It's a little bit of sugar on top. It may not be neutral, but I enjoy what it's doing. And I'm sure if I tweak the RHA's bass and treble adjustment knobs, I could get something similar, but maybe I couldn't. Yes, I like this. And don't consider it just a bass boost. There is definitely an increase in bass, but there's other parts of the frequency that are being fondled. So that's high gain. Let's put it on low gain. And there's no fade out like that had fade out. It just is low gain, is high gain, is low gain, is high gain. So this is about half the price. This is $160 or $70. $160. Comes in black or silver. And I have a thing with topping products that usually they disappoint me. This does not. Now this is also DSD compatible, but I don't deal with DSD. I'd rather have 20,000 tracks of FLAC 1644 than 9 DSD tracks that are the only ones I listen to because they're DSD and I spent so much money and time to get them to work. No. So I don't DSD, but you can if you want to. The back of the unit, oh my God, the red's on the right and blue's on the left. 2 USB micro inputs. One is a charge port, strictly a charge port, and I had it charging because why wouldn't I have it charging? Doesn't affect the playback. You could use this permanently on a desk forever and ever and ever. It wouldn't die. You could also charge it while it's playing without anything fault. You can go to your car. You could, when I said, well, don't drive with headphones on unless you're me. I have a special license. I actually don't. But here's DAC, and then it says red is DSD. So if you're just using it as a DAC with FLAC or wave or anything else, it'll be blue. It'll turn red if you're running DSD into it. So power indicator is blue. Oh, I should have mentioned on that one that the power indicator was white, and that's always good. But here's your line in and out. Now, because we're using the DAC, this should be out. It's outputting. So even though I'm running the headphones, you would run this to another amplifier for whatever reason, which is a nice feature. But I think this has it. Does this have that too? No, this just it does have it in and out. So it's. I'm gonna keep comparing to the FIO because I fucking love the FIO. But the only thing the FIO has right now over this is balanced output, because balance gives a little more power. But guess what? This whole thing gives more power than this, and it's $60 more. It's not double the price. It's not even double. It's just $60 more. It's a little bit bigger, but I mean, if you own one of these and you switch to this, the size, the width is like, oh, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch maybe wider. Yeah, 3/8, quarter. Just look at the. I stand by my recommendation. The bottom of this video will have this linked in it. But if you want more power, which who doesn't want more power? Clarkson power. Then you know this is the one you're buying. Now I'm on low gain, and max is down there, and this is loud on low gain on T60s. So let's see now. Okay, we're on low gain. Not low gain. Don't need that stuff. I just need low gain. Let's plug this bitch in. And those are my T60s, and these are my AD 2000Xs, which are very easy to drive. Easy to drive with a lot of IEMs. That's a good reason to take them out. So let's turn this up now on low gain, because there's, I can feel the bias right. So the RHA had no channel imbalance, but this is a much cheaper unit. So you get a little bit of bias right when you first bring it up, and then imbalance is gone. So right there. I had to blasting low gain on at 12 noon. So Planeteus is such a good anime. Everyone should watch it, but you gotta watch it 2 episodes a week, no more than that. Prometheus, however, is what's playing. Bass boost is still on. Alright, let's kill the bass boost. Quality bass boost. I think I even like the bass boost in this more than I do the RHA, even with all the steps it has. Because this just comes on, it bumps the right frequencies. It might bump more than it should up in the range, but it's solidly enjoyable bass boost. Do I want to leave it on? If I put a bass boost on and it's like, oof, I don't need that, then I poo-poo it. But if I put a bass boost on and I realize that, oh my god, am I enjoying my headphones more? That's what this has. The FIO has an okay bass boost. It's just okay. I almost never use it. I'll put it on, and it'll actually, when you put the bass boost on this thing, you can reach up to distortion, because bass is the hardest in the drive, and if you're adding more bass, it's harder to drive, and therefore the little baby FIO, which is still amazing, I'm gonna keep saying that, you just push it a little bit too far, but this, infinite fucking power, infinite power. This is FIO A5 levels of power with a DAC built in. Now the DAC's good. The DAC's good, but let's, I don't know if this will switch over without me unplugging it. Oh yeah, she switched over immediately. So now that computer through the JDS Subs EL DAC is what's feeding it, and I'm getting that amplified. Wait. Okay. I hear that music still. Very, very, very quiet and distorted because it's still playing. If I pause it, dead silent. So I don't recommend you run both this DAC and a line in. I mean, who's doing that anyway? That just calls up the insulation between the circuitry. Again, it's $170, not $300 or $500. So I don't mind that, especially when I pause that. I don't hear any loops, any fucking feedback. We're on low, low, low. So now I'm testing the amplifier portion of this, because I was testing the DAC and amplifier portion and combine the two. What is this? Pearl Jam Wasted Reprise? Well, that's your nose. But it was dirt. That's a clean, clear amp. Now the signal is better through that than it is through the actual DAC internally. In fact, we can unplug the DAC internally and that will error. But oof. I would be glad to call this my portable amp solution. The DAC is good enough, definitely good enough. And then the RHA might have the DAC beat just because sheer dollar signs make that happen. And that doesn't exist portable, at least that I know of yet. So you need to strap that on there. But ooh. We're in a very quiet song. The Beatles, no. Otona Rocks, back on. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Oh my god, yeah. Yes. Okay. This thing. If you need a portable amp and you need to spend $100, here it is. And I love the fact that it's balanced. But that's literally the only thing that this adds. This has 2 charge ports, which is nice too, because that means you could run it off your... This you have to run off your phone, and it sometimes pulls off your phone. But this is just DAC, and then you charge separately. It's bigger and heavier. Actually, is it much heavier? This thing is pretty fucking beefy. The knob, the knurled knob is nice. Again, it works in the pocket. You don't have to look at it. The switches are just stick up enough that they won't get hit by accident, but you can switch them without looking. Fucking yes. Fucking yes. This thing, again, on the third day's video, I will go over all 3 of these. Tomorrow's video will be of the Aoun B1S, which is strictly a headphone amplifier, not a DAC. So come back for tomorrow's video to see that and the wrap up between these 2 other amps. Amp DACs. These are amp DACs. That's just an amp, but it's Class A. It's a portable Class A. So that's where we're gonna see the money shot. And we'll come back with another wallpaper. Again, wallpaper's in the description. If you want to support this channel on Patreon, I should probably do this every time. There's a link to the Patreon down there, up there. A lot of things that I purchase for review straight off the internet, I sell to people in the yard sale the 1st to the 10th of every month. So there's been a couple of things I've bought. Unfortunately, this was sent to me by a user, and so is this. And I'm never giving this bitch up. So nothing here will be in the yard sale, but those yard sales do exist. So download the wallpaper, check out yesterday's video, which was the RHA, and stay tuned for tomorrow's video, which will be the Aoun B1S, a wrap-up, and I might even talk about these little guys, just because I bought them because they were super cheap and they have weird headphone cables that came with them. These are also straight amps and real cheap, so we'll give these a little bit of a mini run and do the wrap-up. So the third day video will be the long one. Thank you for joining me. Links in the description. And I'll see you literally tomorrow, which is weird to say.